A few months ago, I recorded a video where I was able to get this Xbox 360 working again with an RGH chip also installed. However, after a few months of playing on this Xbox 360, it now no longer boots. So in this video, I am going to go ahead and try to take this apart again and figure out what is wrong with it. To get started fixing this Xbox 360, I will start opening up the case. Remove the hard drive and remove the front panel here. Next, after removing that front panel, I will want to remove these gray covers. And the way I can do that is there's these little holes here, and I have a pair of tweezers. Actually, I'll put them together just as this, and then I can push this little tweezers through some of these little holes where there's little tabs, and I'll show you once I get it off what they look like. So I'm going to set it down here. Start on the bottom here. So there's a tab here I can push in. Push there. Let's flip over and get the other side. And these are the tabs that I was attempting to get off. Now let's do this side. Here. There it goes. And so these ones are now off too. Now the next part's a bit tricky. So up front, I have these tabs here that I want to lift off. And then on the back, it's a bit more trickier. On the back, there's little areas right in between here. You can see these little open areas. And what I will do is take my tweezers and poke inside those little open areas to undo those tabs. So I'll open up the tweezer and just go real thin. And I will hear it click as I stick these in there and open up on the bottom side there. And then I can begin to open, and you'll actually see it start to separate if you get the tabs correct. I'm going to set this down flat here and then lift it up. I think there's one tab here that's still not cooperating. There it goes, and it lifts off. So the next thing I want to do is go ahead and remove the DVD button, and then start removing the round screws here. So I've got my toolkit here. Now I will remove this piece and then remove these slightly smaller screws. We can remove the DVD drive though and unplug that. Also remove the X-clamp screws. Remove the fan. And lastly, remove the motherboard. Make sure all the screws are out. They all are out. So it should just drop out. And there you have it. I now have the motherboard completely removed. I can test just to make sure everything is working. Let's go ahead and grab power supply. The one thing I wanted to check was make sure all these wires were still connected, just in case something might have come undone. This still lights up, so I still have power in both those locations. Let's flip over. Does look like all my wires down here are still connected. I have a bag here to go ahead and put all these screws in, because if I don't do this, I will inevitably lose some of these screws, which I don't want to do that. So let's put all these in there. I also don't need this screwdriver for now, so we'll move that over there. Let's remove that. So the next thing I want to do is remove the heat sinks. So removing the heat sinks is a bit tricky because these X clamps have to come off. So I take a screwdriver and I try to pop one of the corners off by getting it in there and popping them up. And they should pop off. Let's try this side here. So you see it comes off just like that there. And let's try to get this one off here. A little bit more. That one's off. I don't want to mess with these wires too much, so I'm trying to avoid those. And then the heatsink falls off. So there's the heatsink with the thermal paste from the previous time that I took these off. Let's get this smaller one. That one's off. Okay. Set those aside. Now that I have these cleaned up, let's remove the alcohol, put it over here. And I have a heat gun here, which is what I will plug in to use to start the reflow this board. Let's remove these also. And actually, I placed these on there. I'm going to take these off. These were like little heat sinks I once placed on here. I'm going to take them off. I don't know that they really served a purpose, but just something I was testing. It obviously does not make a difference on this board to keep it alive longer. And what I plan on doing is I will do the backside here. I've got these wires, so I may not actually heat the back up. Maybe in this corner a little bit or right here. The one that I really want to focus on is this, is the GPU. That's the one that I hear that actually gets, has the problem with needing reflowing. So I'm going to actually heat up just kind of this area right here on the backside just to get a little warm, and then focus really just in circles around the GPU. Trying to push these wires out of the way, kind of keep them on the other side of these caps. so that I don't melt those at all. So I'll really try to keep the heat just focused this direction around these. So let's get the back warmed up just a little bit, and then I will flip it over. So I'm going to start on low heat. So that's low, and that's high. So let's do low heat. Just kind of circle around there, the bottom of the GPU board here. Then I will flip this over, and I will try to do about 2 minutes on low heat, kick it off to 3 minutes on high heat. You just see I'm going in a circle around here. I'm going to kick it up into high heat now. I'm going to turn it back down to low heat again so it doesn't cool down too fast. Okay. Now it's just time to let it cool. And I like to let it sit a good 20 minutes to cool before I do anything else. I am back now and giving the board some time to cool. So taking a look at it, it does feel cool to the touch. I lift it up and take a look at the back side here. Okay, so I do notice that one of my solder points did actually come off. So taking a look at that, I will need to resolder that wire back on. Not surprised, given all the heat that gets applied to the board. Let me check. I believe it is the FT6U is the one, but I will go ahead and take a look again to confirm that's the right one. It's the FT6U point. Apply some new flux to that point so that the solder will stick to it nice and easily. Place that on there. And that is back on there. Flip the board over. Okay, thermal paste is on there. Let's stick that on there. Flip this over. And again, do my best to get these X clamps on there without breaking any wires. These two are on, we're the closest to the wires. Let's get this one. This wire doesn't matter, I can kind of push out of the way. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get that one on third. And then this one, pushed it on. Give everything one more good press with the thumb, and it's on. So the next one is this one. Grab the X clamp here. And since the wires are over here, yeah, let's go ahead and place this one on first, then that one, place this bottom. Okay. We'll replace that one then, and then do the top one. No matter, that one is now on. Okay. All of the X clamps are on and ready to go. There. Push the wires over here. These wires back up over here. Let me put this fan in. I'm going to plug in. Plug that fan in there. Put the fan shroud on. Plug in power. HDMI. Just gonna toss this here to keep it cool, because I can. It's open. Plug in that. I am going to grab my controller. The red light is on, and then let's see what happens here. I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. Maybe you can see the screen. And there it goes. It's on. It's working. Controller is connected. Let's see if it actually... I don't have the hard drive plugged in, so I don't have any of the games on there. But it is up and running. So that is awesome. And staying cool with the fan on there. So it is time to put this back together and play some games. My controller batteries are dead, but we can shut it off. Put these 3 screws in. Put this on there. It does say top here, so flip this over. Add a couple screws in, and then I will add the X-clamp screws in. Should have done that last. That's okay. Well, folks, there you have it. I have now successfully restored my Xbox 360 for the second time, and will hopefully get much longer use out of it. I do enjoy this Xbox 360. I actually do end up playing a lot more on the newer Series X, and have all the games, the backwards compatibility that I like to do on that, but it is always fun to go ahead and boot up this old Xbox 360 and keep it running. So I'm very happy to see it running again. I'm not going to continue putting it together in this video. There's plenty of other videos showing how to reassemble. It's really the same exact process that I did to disassemble, and just putting more screws in. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, be sure to like the video and also subscribe, as I do much more content on video games. Thank you.